we're going to be joined by our final guest of the evening, Chip Moraza-Pollard. How we doing tonight, Chip?
We're doing good. Hey, I caught the end of that little debate on who's cuter, Paul or Brett. I don't know. I feel like I got both of them got beat. I don't know.
Did you almost hang up, Chip?
Well, no, listen. The whole thing started because, when I was putting the photos together for the interview, I'm Googling his name, but pictures of Brett kept popping up. Like, what the hell is going on here? And, he wasn't on my friends list, and I totally spaced on just shooting over to his Facebook fan page. So I, went to try to find one, and I guess I found Brett for some odd reason. And then next thing you know, he's like, I don't know. We get started on who's cuter. I'm like, listen, I'm comfortable in my own skin, but I'm not going to sit there and say another guy's cuter than I don't know. You're not going to get me on that one. I'm sorry.
Those online cookies, those cookies on your web browser, are tough, man. They're dicey. Sometimes, storing searches. I don't know.
But anyways, as we're let's kind of bring this one back down to the planet Earth here, man. Obviously, you and Paul are gonna be trading blows here in about 5 or 6 days or so. You just signed a multi-fight contract with Lions Fight. You got the Cruserweight title fight the 28th. How excited are you for this opportunity, man?
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. It's gonna be a great fight. Paul's a great fighter. It's like I've been trying to break into Muay Thai for so long, and I've only been doing it for less than a year, and I'm already fighting for the title in the biggest promotion in the country. So it's kind of a nice feeling right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, considering I haven't been doing this, strictly, Muay Thai very long. You've made tremendous strides in the short period of time. I think the proof is in the work you've already put in. So and you look at it now, man. Like Paul was saying, you guys were basically he was a part-time guy at the gym you were training at. You guys have seen each other before, so is it safe to say we're not going to have that awkward feeling at stage, or is that just going to make you guys even more sharper?
Who knows? It's a whole different game in the actual fight versus in the gym. That was, I think, it was a while back when me and him went at it at Siao Tong. I'm pretty sure I was still fighting MMA, so I know I'm more familiar with the Muay Thai game now. There's a couple of new little wrinkles to my game that I didn't have when I was fighting MMA, and I'm sure he's progressed a lot since then as well. But yeah, it's interesting that we've moved around together and we know each other and everything. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You never know. I don't see too much of a long feeling out process. I think we're both exciting fighters, and we'll be putting on a show from the get-go. But I think it's going to be a nice technical fight with a lot of excitement in it.
Chip, it's Omar from the Pride Rules podcast. Super excited to be chatting with you. And let me just pick your brain for a second. You said finally doing Muay Thai full time. Now was this something we had Scott on earlier saying how his promotion is allowing fighters that are more of the stand-up inclination to have a home. Now, with your career, was that something where you might have jumped into a lion fight type promotion earlier, had you been given the opportunity, or is it just something that's kind of naturally progressed as your career has?
No, it's definitely something I wanted to do for a long time. Years and years ago, I think it was like maybe 2010, 2011, I did my first little Muay Thai smoker, and I had already had a bunch of MMA fights, but I just wanted to have fun in a fight without somebody trying to take me down every 2 seconds, because that's pretty much how all my fights went. So over the years, I would watch more kickboxing, more Muay Thai, more boxing, more just striking than I would MMA. I kind of always wanted to make that transition over, especially once I saw Lion Fights putting on shows at Foxwoods and I saw some of the other local guys getting a crack at it. I was like, man, I see this dude all the time, and I feel like if I can get in there, I'll be able to make some noise. So it's definitely something I wanted to do. It's just that I never really got the opportunity to do it, so I had to keep on taking MMA fights. It's like my last few MMA fights, I would have preferred just to be kickboxing and just doing Muay Thai, but it's like it was hard to break in there when you didn't have any pro Muay Thai fights or any pro kickboxing fights for a promotion to really look at you seriously, because you're 0-0. You say, oh yeah, he's got 20 MMA fights, but that doesn't really mean anything to them since they can't like market you as anybody because you don't have a record as far as they're concerned. So it was nice to finally get the chance to get in there last year, and obviously the rest is history. And I kind of put my money where my mouth is and showed everybody that I'm capable of doing everything that I've been claiming that I can do for the past few years.
Hey, Chip, Brad Storm. How the hell are you, man?
I'm good, man.
Hey, you're talking about this I guess, collision of two really, big planets that are going to hit and explode come Lion Fight 37. Did you see this coming? I mean, I heard, there was an interview with Paul on Fanboy Nation. He kind of saw that, it coming. It was going to happen. Did you see it happening way back when you walked in the doors?
I definitely, at the last event when I knew Paul was fighting Brett, it kind of made sense because it doesn't seem like most of the Lion Fight events, it's smaller guys. Like, most of the fights are going to be held in the lower weight classes.
Right.
It's rare that you see guys in our weight class going at it, which I think could be a lot more prevalent if guys start seeing it more on TV. Like, obviously, MMA 185 is a really big weight class with a lot of guys fighting. So it's like, and I'm sure a lot of those guys think the same as me. They want to get into just a striking fight without worrying about being, wrestled down or anything like that. But, yeah, watching that last fight between Paul and Brett, after I had just got a win on the same card, you can kind of feel that it would make sense that the winner of that would probably go on to fight me again or something like that, just because I don't know, it seemed like an organic kind of natural thing, especially with Paul winning the fight, with both of us being undefeated. It definitely made a lot of sense for them to put it together.
Now, in that same article, he says that this will be your truest test to date. Do you agree with that assumption, or do you disagree?
It's definitely going to be a big test, but it's like, you got to remember, I'm 4-0 in Muay Thai, but I had 20 professional fights in MMA, and I've been fighting on national TV. I've been fighting UFC vets. I've been fighting guys that went on to go into the UFC. I've been fighting Bellator studs. It's like I've been fighting killers for years now on a big scale on national TV for titles. I've held the title down in Atlantic City. It's like I don't even consider myself undefeated because I've lost in MMA. So I've felt like the lowest of the low. I've been through the wars. I've been through big victories against big level names. So it's like it's just another fight. Like, in my eyes, I've been doing this for too long. It's nice that my record now, it says that I'm undefeated again, but it's like I have that whole kind of experience behind me that I have all the knowledge of somebody who's been through the trenches and lost fights, won fights, and everything, and now I just get a fresh start being undefeated, so I get to use all of that in this new career.
Hey, man, it's the one thing is interesting. We had you on right as you made the official transition, and what you've done in that time period is just amazing. We just seen a guy. Look at the UFC fight last night. You had Eric Anders, who was the beginning of the 2009. He was in the title game for college football, winning a national championship, and 6 years later, here he is making his UFC debut, short notice, knocking a big name out. It's fun hearing and seeing guys who started in other sports or other disciplines for that argument, to see them kind of really make a splash and shine when the lights are put on them. And we've seen why guys are taking you down in your MMA fights. Your skill set is definitely speaks for itself. The fact that both you and Paul have had similar coaches, time together in the gym is one of the reasons why I'm really excited for this fight, because, like I said, I don't think there'll be that whole, odd, feeling out process when it comes to it. That when it comes down to it, you guys are just going to, go in there and kind of, try to fulfill your game plan, so to speak. So I'm really excited for that one. I'm going to pose a question to you that I posed to Paul. Argument's sake, you win a fight. Was talking with Scott earlier about taking lion fights overseas, outside of the U.S. You win this fight, and he wants to put you on one of those events. Where would it be? Would it be Australia, Puerto Rico, or is there somewhere specific like Paul mentioned Poland, because that's where his background, that's where his family's from and whatnot. Is there a place outside of the U.S. that you really have your heart set on competing in?
I feel like the obvious answer to that would probably be Thailand, just because it's the birth of the sport. It's like that's what we're doing is Muay Thai, so it's like you can't not do it over there. That's kind of the mecca. But oh man, I'm a traveler, so I would love to see all over the place. I've been in New Zealand. It would be awesome doing a show over there. My heritage on my mom's side is Mexican, so it'd be cool doing a show down there in Mexico. I don't know how popular Muay Thai is, but it's like that's a fight country down there. But I don't know, man. Really, like anywhere. It's like I would love to see as much of the world as I can. If I can use fighting to do that, then all the better. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would have to think about that. But yeah, Europe would be cool. But yeah, the ones that pop into my mind is probably Mexico, just because that's I got that heritage in me, and I know how much Mexicans appreciate a good fight. But
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Oh boy, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's one of the markets that hasn't really been tapped yet, as far as building a foundation for Muay Thai, and it's one of the things that I think that I don't think Scott touched on, but I think it's something that's in the back of his mind is doing Mexico, considering you see how the Mexican fans turn out for their own and turn out in droves and droves and droves of fans. I think that would be an awesome opportunity to regardless if you're the champion or you're the co-headliner or the headliner, going down there, putting on an event like that would probably be a special moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think I picture, because Mexico, you got a lot of those same like kind of bars like in Thailand, how they have the ring set up outside and they got the tourists in there watching the fights there. I can see that, just kind of tequila filled nights watching Muay Thai down there in Mexico. I think they would enjoy it.
I wholeheartely agree. I think it's something that me and Scott talked about is the growth of this sport is it isn't going to be as hard as it was for the UFC, where he had to actually prove that they had a sport at first, and then get sanctioned through different sanctioning bodies and whatnot. And it's still this is the first year we've had that, where we've had MMA in New York, so you don't have that obstacle to get over. And I'm really excited to see what Scott does with it. I'm going to keep me personally. I'm going to keep beating him up about coming here to Philly, because God damn it, Philadelphia loves a good fight, regardless if it's in a cage, it's in a ring, or it's on the streets. We love to watch fights, man. And you being from oh, I'm sure. Just like from where Chip is right now in the in that New England, Boston area. It's the same thing, man. We love to watch fights. Don't matter where it is.
Right.
Hey, Chip, after the fights are done, are you going to the roulette table or what? You going to spend all your winnings, or what are you going to do?
I'm not a big gambler, so I'll definitely be out and about. I'm not a gambler. I'd rather get something for sure for my money versus kind of, who knows, I might get something I might not. But I'll be on the about. You'll see me around. First order of business is always getting some food, because I'm a fat kid at heart.
Do you eat at Foxwoods? Do you go to the buffet and just destroy it afterwards, or what?
Man, if the buffet was still open that late, you could guarantee that you'd be seeing me over there. But it's closed by then. It sucks. But yeah, I'll be around somewhere, stuffing my face and then getting some drinks. I got a bunch of people from over here up there, so they'll all be reckless by that point. Probably be fighting each other in the stands and my friends.
People taking bets on that?
The last fight I came up and two of my friends about to beat each other up, and I'm like, oh my God.
Chip's gonna kick your ass. No, he's not. This guy's gonna beat his ass. No, this guy.
So shout out to them, but we'll be
Hell yeah.
Be on the bow causing ruckus.
What happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Was it because the buffet got closed down? Is that why they were throwing down? Were people just pissed at the fact that the buffet
was closed?
It might have just probably could have done with some food in their system.
Son of a bitch!
Some bread.
I gotta leave.
Now, I mean, how much easier is it for you, having this fight at Foxwoods, fairly close to everything for you? Is that more of a comfort on top of everything else?
Yeah, it's definitely nice not needing to fly out a week early somewhere and worry about finishing up your diet or your weight cut or whatever in a hotel. You can just kind of do everything you need to do at home. I can run around, sell all my tickets, and sleep in my own bed and just kind of relax until it's game time and then just drive down for the weigh-in. So it's definitely nice. Plus, being so close can have a lot of people come out that if it was on the other side of the country or something like that, they wouldn't probably be able to make it. But, yeah, it's definitely a nice thing that it was so close.
I mean,
any pre-fight rituals?
What's that?
Any pre-fight rituals? You're a veteran, so I imagine there's you got a flow, a system that works, or anything in particular that you have to get done before lacing them up?
Man, for me, it's just my pre-fight ritual is the post-weigh-in food and then the fight day breakfast and then just kind of chilling and just, I don't know, after weigh-ins kind of nibble away a little bit and then get a nice meal in you, then kind of me and my boy kind of roam around the casino all night, just kind of just getting used to the environment and everything, killing time, chilling, and just kind of soaking everything in, and then fight day and just kind of relaxing, watching TV, whatever, and just wait until game time. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. But I always look forward to that fight day breakfast, getting some pancakes and everything else in me. So, yeah,
you must be starving.
What's
He's
that?
still talking about food.
You must be starving right now. You must be
not
really. Everything's eat. I'm gonna eat.
Hey, I'm a foodie, man. I got my smoker at home. I'm fire it up and cook some ribs and everything. So I'm a food guy. But it's not as bad. When I used to fight MMA, I fought at welterweight at 170, and that was pretty brutal. But fighting at 185, it's not really that bad. I've been floating around 190 for the past week or so I'm not really worried about it. I just have a couple pounds of cut, so it's not anything crazy. So it's got a little bit more leeway, so I'm not feeling out as bad as I normally would sitting in front of the TV watching Man vs. Food and everything, but still, when you can't eat whatever you want, it weighs on your mind a little bit.
Well, since we're talking about weight cutting and food stuff like this, we just had an article go up from my MMA News, Arakawa. He just talked to the athletic commissioner here in PA, and they're going to start doing the use of skin fold tests for weight cutting to kind of make sure that you guys are fighting in the proper weight classes. Now, we've seen a lot over the last year of fighters falling ill and falling out of fights literally, hours, if not a day before the fight. Do you think something like this moving forward is kind of the best way to kind of determine where a fighter's true weight class really is?
Yeah, I definitely think that something has to be done, especially in MMA, where it seems like guys tend to cut a lot more. I know from experience. Like in Muay Thai, I feel like I don't have to fight, even though I was kind of going away from fighting 170, even when I was still doing MMA. But Muay Thai, I feel like I don't have to cut as much just because I'm not worried about anybody taking me down, laying on top of me, working to get up against the fence or anything like that. But still, it's like, I don't know, guys put so much stock into, all right, let me see how much weight I can cut so I can get in there to be the bigger guy, where it's like you see these guys get dehydrated, sent to the hospital, missing weight, all that stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, this is martial arts, and it should be about who's the better martial artist, not who can cut the weight the better and be the bigger fighter. But actually in Connecticut, they're doing stuff like that now, too. My last fight, it was supposed to be at 185, same as this one. And now in Connecticut, they're going off of whatever your physical says. So whenever you got your physical done, when you walk into the doctor a month before or whatever, before you're cutting weight and you got all your clothes on, your shoes, and they weigh you, I guess Connecticut is going off of that and saying you can only fight 20% of your body weight lower than whatever that physical form said. So my opponent in my last fight, apparently when he got his physical done, who knows how long before the fight it was, he was pretty heavy. He was like, I think in the 230s or something like that. So they said, and he was like, he's a bigger guy. Obviously, he wasn't like a ripped up 230. He was probably like drinking beers and eating burgers. I don't know. Who knows? But because he weighed in at 230 on his physical, they said, no, you're not allowed to fight at 185. The lowest we're going to let you fight is 200. So like a week before the fight, I got the call and they said, hey, like the fight's like, the fight's still on if you want it, but they're not letting it happen at 185, and I was already down, like, I think 192 or something like that when I found out. I'm like, oh, all right, I can eat. Like, cool, this is a new little new experience I haven't had before, being able to eat lunch before weigh-in and not really worry about it. But still, it's like at the end of the day, anything that's implemented to kind of stop guys from doing that terrible stuff to the body. Like I used to be in the hot baths with the Epsom salts and going in the steam room in the sun and everything like that. And it's anything that kind of prevents that is a good thing in my book.
I agree. There needs to be something put in line where kind of prevent you guys to kind of push that envelope to harm you physically. People think, you just get sick and you bounce back. No, it doesn't work that way. Rapid extreme weight cutting excessively over a period of time, will damage your kidneys, mess up your liver, really give you problems as you get later in life. And we're not going to find out what some of those are until some of these fighters get in their 30s, 40s, 50s. And, you might, regardless if we're talking about MMA or wrestling or whatever, that you might see some of these guys, unfortunately pass long before they probably should have. So I think anything implemented, put it in place to kind of protect you guys from yourselves, because we all know a lot of times, some fighters are too tough for their own good. And this is kind of one of those situations. So, anything to help that, I'm all for it.
Exactly.
Now, any last questions for Chip from either Brad or Omar before we get ready to wrap things up and let him enjoy the rest of his evening?
Hey, Chip, what's your favorite martial arts movie and why?
Oh, man. Damn, favorite martial arts movie. Oof. Oh, damn. I grew up, like, that's, like, one of the reasons I fight. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I grew up on Jackie Chan videotapes and Bruce Lee and Jean-Claude and everything. So it's like, oh man. The original Drunken Master, actually both of Jackie Chan's Drunken Master movies are awesome. Bloodsport is obviously a classic.
Yeah.
Any Muay Thai fighter has to say kickboxer because Tong Po kicking the post in the locker room is one of the badass things with the kind of the dust falling down from the ceiling and everything. But Jet Li.
I liked everything. Hey Chip, I liked everything in Bloodsport except for the part where he's stretching his legs on the trees. I'm out on that one.
That Jean-Claude always has to show off that flexibility and whatnot. Yeah. Wish I could do that, though. I wish I could do a split like Jean-Claude and shit.
Bring a whole new meaning to go into the bathroom.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, whoa.
Not just that.
International business.
There's just mofos that are just jealous because we ain't that flexible and that dude can do that. It's like, that's not even fair, guys. It's not.
He still can too. Have you seen him like recently?
That's the crazy part.
He can still.
He's like,
he's
like 70 and he can still do it.
70.
I'm just exaggerating.
His face looks like a boot. It's tough.
Yeah,
he's still got that split.
Exactly.
Hey Chip, would you ever fight Claude Van Damme in a challenge?
Would I fight him or have I fought him?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Have you?
Hey. Not that I remember. I
you?
don't think he showed up dancing at any of the bars I was at, but
would you?
Would I? Yeah, he's a little up there in age. Like you said, he's pushing 70. I don't know about that, but
no, he's not. We could clone him and make him like the younger version. If you could do that, would you do that?
That'd be interesting because he's got his own little like style. He's got that leg dexterity, so he can get that front leg up really high and everything.
He's 56, by the way.
What's that?
He's 56. I just pulled up his Wikipedia.
I figured he was around that.
Oh, yeah, that's really close to 70, Steve.
But look at him.
I would definitely move around with Jean-Claude. That would be awesome. That would be like a dream come true right there, growing up on all his movies and everything. Shit, that would be fantastic if we could move around a little bit.
Until he does the split punch to the nuts.
Yeah, until he jumps up and does a spin kick on me like he did to Tong Po.
Oh, no.
Throw the... Sorry, dude. We had to go off topic. My bad.
That's what we're going to say. Chip versus Jean-Claude in Mexico.
At some point in time during the show, it's okay, man. You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, Chip, that's what you're in for. It is what it is.
All right, Chip, what we typically do before we wrap things up is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might have, charities you're working with, anything you want to say at all, my friend, the time is yours.
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody that's bought a ticket so far to this fight. I've had to put in extra requests for more tickets. I'm putting in another final request in for more tickets tomorrow. So it's definitely awesome having everybody come out to the fight, cheer me on and whatnot. All my teammates at Sit Ya Tong, they all know who they are, a bunch of killers in there that get us ready to go into battle all the time. My girlfriend Ashley, who puts up with me during fight camp when I'm all hungry and grumpy and whatnot. My mom, my family, everybody, my friends, my sponsors, Prime Elite Management for always getting me these awesome fights set up, and Lion Fight for letting me do my thing, for giving me the opportunity, somebody who wasn't that experienced, let me come in against somebody like Brett Havlicek who had like 20 pro Muay Thai fights, and on paper looked like I was going to get smoked, and now the rest is history. So ready to continue making history on Friday.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of the ones that I'm just really kind of, looking forward to. I know everyone's going to wants to see what Smoking Joe was going to do, but like I said, when this one got matched up and, heard that you and Banasiak are fighting for that Cruserweight title, it was the one that had my attention from the door. Yes, Smoking Joe's there, but you two got, you guys are arguably, the guys that are going to be building line fights around and moving forward. Whoever winds up winning this title, you guys are going to start getting that push from the promotion on up. So it's a really big, important fight for both of you guys to see where the next move in your career is going to be. I'm not going to say how I feel about this one either way. I got, I got love for both of you guys. Interviewed both of you guys here in the past. Really looking forward to see how this, this fight will play out. I know it's going to be nothing but beautiful, beautiful violence inside of that ring come Friday night.
Yes, sir. You know it.
So, as I say to everyone, my friend, best of skill on the 28th. Hopefully you and Paul can manage to get in and out of there injury-free. Other than that, I guess we'll leave it all up to fate and see how it all plays out.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Paul, too, because Paul's a good guy. And, we're going to put on a hell of a show.
I don't doubt that you guys will.
And one thing's for sure. One thing's for sure. Somebody's going to get punched in the face. That's
Brad's calling card right there. So once you hear punch in the face, it's getting ready time to end this part of the interview, and somebody's getting punched in the face.
Hell yeah.
Jeff, you have a good one, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and really looking forward to it. Guys, make sure you tune in to Access TV because these guys are going to be putting work in.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me, guys.